All right, let's dive into the virality machine. We're going to pull back the curtain on that hidden system that pretty much decides what you see, what you share, and what you're talking about online. So let's get into it. You've seen it, right? A dance, some random challenge, a meme. One day it doesn't exist, and the next, it is absolutely everywhere. So how does that even happen? Is it just random luck? Or is there a system behind all the madness? Well, that is exactly what we are here to figure out. So, first up, the viral mystery. We're going to explore how a single post can go from absolute zero to a global phenomenon seemingly in the blink of an eye. Now, for section 2, the engagement engine. And this is key because virality, it isn't magic, it's architecture. Social media platforms are these incredibly sophisticated engines, and they are designed specifically to find and amplify content. At the very heart of this engine is something called the algorithmic feedback loop. The best way to think about it is like a snowball rolling downhill. The platform's AI spots a piece of content getting just a little bit of attention, so it pushes it out to a few more people. If they engage with it, well, it pushes it out even farther, and this creates this incredibly powerful, self-sustaining cycle of amplification. So, how does this engine actually work? Well, as you can see, it's really a three-step process. First, it prioritizes stuff that's getting rapid engagement. Second, it personalizes everything, predicting what you'll want to see next. And third, it amplifies. It hits the accelerator on that winning piece of content to give it that huge viral push. And this quote it nails the core idea perfectly. The technology doesn't create that initial spark of human interest, but oh man, it pours gasoline all over it. It provides the momentum to turn a tiny spurk into a massive digital wildfire. But that kind of begs the question, right? What creates that spark in the first place? And that brings us to section 3, the human triggers. This is the good stuff. This is the psychological fuel for the engine, those deep-seated desires that make us click and like and share. First up is a big one, FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is that little bit of anxiety you get when it feels like everyone is talking about something you haven't seen yet. It creates this really urgent desire to jump into the conversation before it's over. Next is social proof. Look, we're social creatures. We have a fundamental human need to belong. So when we see tons of other people doing something or participating in a trend, it acts as a signal that, hey, this is something valuable or fun, and it makes us want to join the group. Then there's just novelty. Our brains are literally hardwired to notice what's different. In an endless feed of content, something that's shocking or fresh or just plain weird, that's the hook that makes us stop scrolling. And finally, emotion. Content that makes us feel something, whether it's laugh out loud funny or deeply inspiring or even makes us angry. That's the content we are biologically wired to share. An emotional reaction is one of the most powerful motivators there is. Okay, so we've got the engine and we've got the fuel. Now let's look at the perfect storm, that explosive moment where human psychology smashes right into technology. And the absolute perfect example of this is the hashtag challenge. You've seen them everywhere, TikTok, Instagram. They seem so simple, but trust me, they are masterfully designed to exploit this exact system. Now, this is where you can really see the whole machine laid out. In that first column, you've got the challenge mechanic. It invites you to make your own content. This directly triggers our need for social belonging, which you see there in the middle column. So what does the algorithm do? Well, you see it on the right. It sees all this high participation and immediately starts to prioritize it. It is a perfect symbiotic relationship between our own psychology and the platform's tech. And this whole system leads to a really fascinating outcome, the democratization of virality. See, in the past, influence was all about your follower count, who was up on a pedestal. But today's algorithms, they care way more about the engagement rate. They're looking at how people are interacting with the content, not just who posted it. So, here's the crucial point. The power has shifted. It's not just about established celebrities or big-shot influencers anymore. Because the algorithm prioritizes the engaging content itself, it means that literally anyone has the potential to start a global trend right from their bedroom. So what do we do with all this knowledge? Well, that brings us to our final section, cracking the code and why all of this really matters.
This system is so well understood now that we can actually watch these forces play out in real time. We can track social sentiment, we can identify those psychological triggers, and we can predict which trends are going to blow up and which ones are going to fizzle out. It's like seeing the pattern before it becomes the wave.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from all this. Virality isn't magic. It is not luck. It is a predictable system. It is the direct result of a powerful and perfectly tuned interaction between our own fundamental human desires and the technological architecture designed to amplify them.
So the next time you're scrolling and you see something starting to take off, you'll know exactly what's happening underneath the surface. You'll see the engine and you'll see the fuel at work. The only question left is, now that you know the rules of the game, how are you going to see it differently?